This video did not go according to plan. What I had in mind was to make a video of the top 10 things that I made this year, explaining why they were my favorite, why I liked them, and talk about the process and the pattern and the final result. What ended up happening was when I went through my Instagram and started to scroll through all my outfits, because that's where I post, most of my outfits and things that I make is on my Instagram, sharing, what I wear with them and how I wear them and all of that stuff. When I went through my feed and started to look through everything that I had made this year, I realized that the things that were my favorite were actually from the year before, not from this past year. And I got a little bit frustrated and a little sad, I will admit. I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna make this video because I don't like anything that I made. And so I stuck with it a bit. I did make a list. And I have now compiled that list and I'm going to share it with you, but it's going to be a little bit different than what I initially thought. Instead of doing top 10 things I made this year, I'm going to do my favorite 5 things I made and my least favorite 5 things. I feel good about the redirection of this because I think it's important to share our wins as well as our flops, or where things maybe didn't go according to plan, or even where we maybe liked something at the time but we changed our mind down the line. Or that's kind of what happened with me with a lot of these projects, is maybe I liked them at the time or they came from a good place, and then looking back on them I realized where there was maybe a misstep. So that's what we're going to get into. If you would like to give this video a thumbs up, I would really appreciate it because it helps my channel a lot, especially as I'm trying to grow this channel this year. And if you want to subscribe, I would love to have you along for the journey. So let's get right into it, starting with my least favorite things I made in 2022. The first on this list is the Atlas dress by Sewing by Mason. Honestly, it's a great pattern. It's a great dress. It's beautiful. I made a modification to it, so it's quite a bit shorter than the original pattern calls for, and then it also is sleeveless. I actually do really like that it's sleeveless, but where there are some issues is in the fit. So while I love the fabric, I think it's so cute and I think it fits the dress really well, it is really quite short. It's uncomfortably short, and that is only because of my own sort of miscalculations. I cut the pattern out wrong and I had to sort of do some piecing together to make it work. And it does work and it looks great when it's on, but I cannot move in it because it immediately rides up. It's really uncomfortable because it's so short. I'm a really active person in the summertime. I'm moving around and it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. I don't feel good in it. I feel really self-conscious. I tried to put shorts underneath it, but the way that the shorts and the fabric the friction between them makes it ride up even more, so that it almost is like a top and you can see the shorts completely. It's just not good. It's not a good vibe. And I feel bummed about it because I did want it to work, but it just happens. It's gonna go into my donate or sell pile. I haven't decided yet. And maybe I'll try to make it work, but I think it is probably too short. And that's totally okay. These things happen, and I feel good about being resourceful and trying to make the pattern work even when I mess it up, but it's just not something that I reach for, and it's just not comfortable for me to wear. So number 2 is the Reynolds Dress hack. I will start by saying that I actually love this dress. I think it's beautiful. I think it's really eye-catching. I loved making it. I loved hacking it. So what I did was use the top version of the Reynolds Dress by Helen's Closet Patterns, and then I added these 2 big panels to make the skirt with inseam pockets, huge inseam pockets. And it's so cute. It's really fun to wear. It's really floaty. It's really nice in the summertime. The fabric is really light and really beautiful. But this is really it's not quite it for me. It's just a little bit too bright. It's a little bit too out there. As I like to blend in a bit more and have my style be a bit more subtle. And this is not a subtle dress. So I think I might be selling this in the summertime, closer to the spring, because it's just, while it's so cute, it's not gonna work for me. It is really sweet though, and I'm really happy that I made it. And I loved making it. It is one of my best constructed pieces, I will say. Next up is this gingham wrap top. I'll have to put the name of it in the box because I really can't remember it off the top of my head, and I thought I wrote it down. But this was another test sew, and I think it is a really cute top. I'm actually in this picture not tying it the way that it's supposed to be tied, because when you tie it the way that it's supposed to be tied, it's even more cropped. And I just didn't take this into consideration when I made it. I loved how it looked on the designer in her photos, and so I thought that I would really like it too. But I remembered I don't like super crop tops. I don't really like crop tops in general. And so this just didn't get a lot of wear because I didn't feel comfortable in it physically. Even when I tied it this way and not the original way, I just didn't like how it fit. And then on top of that, the color just makes me feel like I'm cosplaying as like a farmer's daughter. And no matter how I put with jeans, no, with shorts, no, with skirts, no, it just, nothing worked. And I don't really love this red gingham on me. I will say that the photos I took of this went my most viral on Instagram. They're my most liked photos, I think, of all time. And that's pretty fun. I think that's, that's cool. And I think a big reason why I did make this was for the wow factor again. And I am starting to notice that some of these things that I don't like, I maybe made for the wow factor. I made them for Instagram. I made them because I knew they would perform well, but I wasn't thinking that I wouldn't wear them. And the whole point of making clothes for me is to wear them and share them, but mostly to wear them because I want clothing that I'm gonna have for a long time. And so this is another one that's gonna go in my pile to sell or to give away to a friend. It's very cute, but yeah, it's not for me. Camisole number 2 is the next one, and this one had all the elements of success for me. It's the right color, it's the right style, it was the right fit, and then over time it just grew and bagged out and relaxed in a way that is actually not wearable for me anymore. So I would love to wear this without a bra. That's my preference. I don't think it looks good with a bra, but if I don't wear it with a bra, honestly, my everything is out. It's just out because it's so baggy now. The straps have really stretched. It's not form fitted anymore. The ribbing is really loosened up. And I just think that it's not wearable anymore for me. I'll probably have to frog it, to be honest. I haven't decided yet. I'm gonna hold on to it a little bit and then make a decision down the line. Maybe I can find a way to make it wearable, but at this moment, yeah, it's good for for layering under things. If I wear a bra and then put the top on and then maybe wear like a button up or something underneath, it looks great. But just without a bra, which is the way that I wanted to wear it in the summertime, it's just not a good look. Last on my list of my least favorite makes is the Ingrid top by Gregoria Fibers. This is another one that I had really high hopes for. It's the exact style I like. The color's neutral. The shape of it and the pattern was beautiful, but it just came out not quite right. For one, it's a bit too fitted. I wanted it to be a bit more oversized. And then I would like to wear it without a bra because it comes in a bit more on the inside than I thought it was going to. I thought it was going to be a bit wider. So I can wear it with only certain types of bras, but most bras don't really work. And then I cannot wear it without a bra because the eyelets will just expose me. I'll just say that. So while it is a really cute style, it's just not really that practical, and it just doesn't fit the way that I wanted it to. But I will definitely have to frog it because the yarn is just really beautiful. It's from Sweet Georgia, I believe. I have to double check, but it's a silk yarn and it's just beautiful yarn and it's really high quality and quite expensive. So I'm gonna frog it and save the yarn because it deserves a second chance for sure. So that's my plan for that one. It will not be sold or anything. It's just gonna be repurposed. And so just quickly thinking about these, I would say 2 of them are definitely within like my style. Those 2 knits are definitely within my style and they had the right intentions behind them. They just fit-wise didn't work. And that's okay too. This is my first time really knitting camisoles and that makes sense, But the other ones I would say, other than the first one, the Atlas dress, which I made in accordance with my style, the other 2 were definitely more Instagram makes, and it explains why I don't love them as much as I thought that I would. But that's okay, because I can look at that now and I've realized that my style has come back closer to what I was doing last year, and that's kind of my true north in a lot of ways. That's where I want to be with my clothing. And then going into my favorites, I think you will see a bit of a pattern here. The first one is sweater number 9. So this is my first completed knit of 2022, and I wear it all the time. It is a very quick and easy beginner-friendly knit if that's something that you are interested in or you're looking for a good sweater knit to get into. It is not a size-inclusive pattern, I will say that, but it is a beginner-friendly pattern if that is something that you are looking for. So I really like it. I love the style lines with the raglan. I also really like the shape of it. It has like kind of shifted a bit in the collar area, so it's a bit kind of funny fitting there. And I think I might reblock it because it has kind of, the shape has gotten a little wonky as I've worn it. The yarn is Knitting for Olive in the color Putty, and it's, I believe, the double soft merino held with the soft silk mohair. And the color is great, perfect neutral palette for me, and it's just really easy to wear and really warm as well, but not too heavy, which I like. Number 2, more beige or cream or whatever you want to call it, but this is the Reynolds Dress by Vivian Xiao Chen that I have hacked into a top. And this is one of my favorite makes. I've gone into detail on this before, so I won't get too far into it. This is a really sentimental project to me. It was one of the first sewing projects that I did while living in Montreal. It was also lockdown and I was feeling a little sad, but I went into my Nonna's button stash and I picked out these rough pearl buttons, and just the combination of this beautiful linen with the buttons just really makes me happy. And while this is a more like romantic feminine piece than what I'm really like normally used to wearing, I still really like it and think it actually fits really well into my closet. I really love the changes that I did. So instead of doing the pin tuck sleeves, I used shearing, and then I also hacked the bodice. So I elongated the bodice and then I slashed and spread it so that it is this nice sort of flowy bell shape. It's very swingy. And I believe those are the only 2 changes. And then because I elongated it, I had to add an extra row or 2 of buttons. So this is one of my favorite things. I'm gonna keep this forever. It's very precious to me. And I really like that, you know, it has a little bit of me, a little bit of my new city, and a little bit of my grandmother all mixed in. Number 3 is the Louise Pullover, and this is where I really start to feel like myself again. This is a sweater I had been working on for a long time. The color, I will admit, is a bit of a out-of-the-box color for me, but it's still super wearable because everything else in my closet is neutral, and it's just a bit more of like a statement piece, and that's sometimes really nice in the wintertime. If you can't tell, I love like a statement sweater. This is one that I thrifted, but I think having, you know, a nice statement sweater in the winter where it's just like cold and gray, and it's just a nice thing to put on and feel good in. And so this sweater is that for me. I had made the Louise Pullover last year, or well, in 2021, but I didn't like the fit of it. So I went in to make this one with some different thoughts. You know, I knew that I wanted to do the 5 stitch bobbles. So I'm really glad that I did that because they're nice, like chunky bobbles. I really like the yarn color. I also did the size 3. So I sized up by 2 sizes, and I'm happy that I did that because it's the perfect sort of boxy fit. I did really customize this to my body and made it fit exactly how I wanted. The sleeves fit perfectly, the length is perfect. It's honestly just a great sweater, and I love it, and I wear it all the time, and it just makes me feel good. And I worked on it for so long, and I'm happy that I finished it because for a while I did not think I was going to finish it, but I really did, and I wear it so much. It is like a true staple for me. And these last 2 are very recent makes. So number 4 is the Nikko Dress made in Core Fabrics jersey. When I saw this jersey, I immediately knew it had to be this dress. So what I did was I used the Nikko Dress, but I didn't do the slit because it's just too long on me and the slit didn't work. So I shortened it a bit and then I got rid of the slit. And the result is this sort of wavy kind of mermaid effect, which I hated at first, but now I really like it and adds a nice little, it really like balances the shape of, you know, my shape because it's quite form-fitting. So you can see it all, you can see the curves. But I love that it's just a simple dress and it really lets the fabric speak. And the fabric is really drapey and just really soft and really comfy to wear. I really love styling this. I really love wearing this. It's dressy, but it can be casual too. I've worn it a ton. I wore it on New Year's, and I just really think that this is sort of like the epitome of my style. This is where I feel like this is the direction I want to go in. So I love this one, and it feels really good to wear, and it finally started to feel like, okay, I'm back on track. I know what I'm doing now. And then lastly is the Andie Dress from Vicky Sews. This is made, I can't remember the exact material, but I got it from the fabric store, the one out of New Zealand. And again, another one of my top favorites from this year, all made within the past like couple weeks of the year. And so this dress is changed a little bit. So the Andie Dress from Vicky Sews is normally a maxi dress. This is obviously not a maxi dress. I didn't have enough fabric, and then also a maxi dress on me, it's just not, it doesn't work. It needs to be midi or shorter. And with this dress, I honestly thought I wasn't gonna make it through the process because I really like screwed up the placket. I just really have a hard time with that style placket. I don't know why. I didn't find the instructions around the placket super clear. And so essentially I had this big gaping hole in the middle. And I was like, I've screwed it up. This is not wearable. What I ended up doing was I just cut straight across the bodice, the front bodice. And then I sewed the placket together, like I basted it together, sort of one over the other. And then I took the front bodice panel that I cut and I re-sewed it so that it creates this sort of seam, it creates this seam across the chest. And the result is really quite sweet. I actually really like how it turned out. It creates an interesting detail on a dress that is otherwise very simple. And then I omitted buttons or snaps, and I think I might leave it that way, but I might just like tack the front a little bit so that it stays a bit more closed and less like Night at the Roxbury open chest vibes. So I love this dress. And then also I didn't do the thumb hole, but I did keep the sleeves extra long, so it just feels really cozy. And the fabric is so thick and warm. I love it. It's like the perfect winter dress. And I've been wearing it a ton, and I just feel really cool in it. And that's everything for this list. My top 5 items that I liked, as well as disliked, things that I made and love, and things I made and will have to either repurpose or retire. And I think it was really a good exercise for me to do this because, you know, I do think it is important to be realistic about our wardrobes and our makes and what's working and what's not working. Because honestly, these 5 things that I said that I liked from this year are the only 5 things I really, really love. And there's other things in between I'm more neutral about, but it really showed me that I can slow things down and really be more intentional. And that is definitely my goal, because it doesn't feel good to have just 5 pieces that I feel good about out of all of the things I made this year. And so it's just a little, food for thought anyways, as we go into the rest of this first month of the year. So thank you again for being here. I really appreciate it. Again, if you like this video, a thumbs up. It's always highly appreciated. As well as if you want to subscribe, I do lots of videos like this, and we're going to keep them coming for the rest of the year. I'm committing to 52 videos this whole year, and I think we can do it. That's 1 video a week, every Tuesday. Thank you again. My name is Cassie. I will see you next time. Bye.